Hey everybody, my name is Tyler Orr. I'm a counselor and creator of a type of psychotherapy called constructed awareness, which we can call CA for short. And I just wanted to hop on here to tell you a little bit about the third principle of constructed awareness. Well, let's do a quick review. The first principle is if you bring awareness to something, it changes it. So what do we bring an awareness to? The second principle is that everything you've ever experienced is only made of three things, which we call the three building blocks of reality. And those are thoughts, sensations, and external senses. So the third principle says that everyone's more naturally oriented to one building block. So that means they rely more on that one part of their experience and less on the other two. So that creates what we call orientation. So orientation is defined as how someone uses their building blocks to regulate themselves, to connect with others, and to get their needs met. So some people are mentally oriented. They rely on their minds. They use their minds to get out of problems by planning, thinking through, even fantasizing about things. They tend to connect more on an intellectual level. Other people are sensation oriented, so they rely on their bodies to get through life. They regulate themselves through feeling and through movement. They tend to connect more physically through like touch and sharing space and presence. Other people are externally oriented. They rely on their environment to regulate themselves. So when these people get upset, you'll see them like taking care of other people or cleaning, organizing. So basically, if the environment or the people in the environment are okay, then they're okay. So knowing how you're oriented tells you a lot about yourself and how you manage yourself. If you're a therapist who's interested in CA, learning how a client orients is extremely helpful because it helps us as therapists understand what resources would be more useful for this particular individual. So, for example, if a client is primarily mentally oriented and least sensation oriented, you wouldn't want to do a lot of cognitive kind of interventions with that client because you're just bolstering up the part of their experience that is most dominant, the thing that they're best at. Instead, knowing this kind of directs you more toward sensation-oriented resources. And if you attend a CA level 1, we learn how to determine the client's orientation, and we also learn specific resources for mental, for sensation, and for external. So you'll learn all the skills that you need to give specific resources to specific clients. The CA orientation, the three primary orientations, create a typology of 6 types. So basically you have the three building blocks, the three primary orientations. What we did is we created a typology of 2 different personality types, or we call orientation types, for each building block. So 3 times 2 equals 6. Now we added 2 for each orientation because not every mentally oriented person, for example, operates the same way in the world. So for each orientation, there's 2 types. There's an active type. This is sort of like forward-moving, bigger energy, kind of take charge or passionate sort of energy. And then there's the passive type, which is more of a reserved, cautious, sometimes submissive, slower moving in life sort of energy. So again, for each orientation, there's a passive and active, so that creates 6 different types. And the 6 types are achieving, thinking, adapting, giving, feeling, and trusting. Now this is way too big of a topic for this video. Maybe in future videos I can go in depth about each type. But for now, I just wanted to mention, if this sounds interesting to you, you can go to the main page of constructedawareness.com. Scroll down just a little bit and you'll see a link that says click here to take the constructed awareness scale and to learn your orientation type. The constructed awareness scale is an assessment that we developed to help individuals determine their orientation type and to learn more about it. So you can go through and click your responses 1 to 4 for each item. And then at the end, it gives you your score, which is going to be a series of 3 letters. You can click the corresponding link down here at the bottom, and that will take you to give you information about your type, and you can learn about that. So I hope this is helpful. Thank you so much for your time. Take care.